Chairman, I want to have one issue. And that issue is on Akki-bua. Chairman, I would want to refer the committee to the Pamoja bid, and I'm going to read it verbatim, on stadium, that is section 5. In the Pamoja bid they wrote, it's not me, it's the ministry, that in addition to Mandela National Stadium in Kampala, the government in Uganda is committed to constructing 2 new stadiums in Hoima and in Lira, named Fufa Stadium and Akki-bua Stadium, respectively. The construction for the 2 stadiums with an estimated seating capacity of 30,000 people each is scheduled to begin in August 2023 and will be ready for use in the AFCON of 2027. Mr. Chairman, I'm concerned because this is like marrying a very beautiful wife. You use her and parade her around all over. When you've got whatever you've got, you dump. And this is what has happened. So, Mr. Chairman, in your presentation here, Akki-bua has now been relegated to nothing. You've just put 100.
Maybe it's something small.
No. We don't want something small. Our recommendation, I know I speak for the MPs from Lango, from Acholi, and from West Nile. Yes, and they are here. They will have their voices. Yes. And Teso. It is now has been resorted to something. If you don't have an airfield or airport, we can't do it. By the time you are writing this report, you knew that Akki-bua is in Lira and there is an airfield there. If that one can't work, there is another one in Gulu and in Soroti and Tororo. And the distance there is less than 45 minutes and the players will be in Akki-bua Stadium. I would want us to have it equivocally decided here that in your proposed budget, Akki-bua and Hoima will come as the stadia that will be built for the AFCON 2027, not relegated as something, and we are going to insist on it. And so therefore, if you look at that greater East, Lango, Acholi, Teso, West Nile, the football fans in Uganda are in that zone. They are in that zone. So how do you take a stadium where there are no players and there are no fan members? Just simply because of, I don't know, political expediency, what is it? Information accepted.
I want us to reflect on our Olympic history in Uganda. It is obviously the first gold medalist in the country in 1972, almost 50 years ago. Secondly, it broke the Olympic world record, which stood unbroken for almost 20 years. Thirdly, the North has always been marginalized. We were talking here about equal development or balanced development. They use the name Akki-bua because it sells to win the bid, to win the Pamoja bid. After that, they immediately changed their mind. There's a big uproar in Lira, in Lango, in the north, including Gulu, Acholi,
West Nile,
and West Nile, for this decision of government. The slogan now is no Akki-bua, no vote. No Akki-bua, no vote for those of us in parliament. No Akki-bua, no vote for those who will be seeking votes for the presidency. It's a very serious emotive matter in Lango. So I really, since nothing much has been decided or nothing has been done on the ground, and government reconsiders, because it was their own offer, which really excited the people of the North, that now we're getting something major. Secondly, Chair, the cost of Akki-bua Stadium, what is being provided now here in this document, they are asking for a provision of 100 billion for 2 stadiums. Akki-bua was estimated to cost about $48 million for 30,000 seater capacity. The Hoima Stadium, they are budgeted at 380 billion. They're looking for that money for a 15,000 capacity. Can you see the anomaly? The inflation, the possible kickback?
Yes.
Thirdly,
Yes.
thirdly, we know National Council of Sports is not a government department. But we are putting in almost 1.5 trillion. That's what the minister is asking.
National Council is a government.
1.5 trillion in one financial year.
Honorable, it's a government.
Sports, additional. This is additional. Everywhere they are mentioning additional resources. In sports, we are not even putting that in our primary schools. What's the comparative advantage? How far will sports take us compared to formal education in schools? So we must really cut our coat according to our cloth. We cannot afford to put so much money in one area of education.
Okay.
So, Chair, I really wanted to
That's good
really
information.
appreciate this issue, and I hand back to
That's good information.
Yield.
Ability study and architectural plan for Akki-bua and Buhinga. And there was a money in form of a grant. So what happened? And where are those architectural drawings? Because you need to investigate where that money disappeared. Both the one which was for feasibility studies, which was actually Uganda government money, which we allocated here. No, it was about 2 billion each. Where did that money go? What did it do?
Part information.
Chair,
Yes.
Part information, Chair.
before even you go far, I sit in the Kosase committee. In the last AFCON fund structure, the people in the ministry ate the money.
And it was
The
a man
commissioner in charge of sports.
called Omara Peter.
Yeah, in charge of
Who
sports.
was from Lango.
In charge of sports. I was even surprised that
That's from Lango.
the only arrest we made was to arrest him in Parliament here. When he went back, he retired, then he was being appointed again.
Further
So the
information.
report is there, I know it's a
Further information accepted?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's what we are referring to, that 48 million preferred to build a capacity of 30,000. So in this case, the budget committee may see if we are going to, if we have a figure of 380 billion for one stadium, we could pull from there the 380 and build 2 stadia of 15-15 at least.
Thank you, Honorable Gori. I think Mr. Chairman gave that quotation. So, Chair, we can divide this money with the provision of 100 billion. We can build Hoima and Akki-bua for 2027 AFCON. That one.
Even if it's not going to host, we can do it. It's not going to
Because let's get
the 2 now. Hoima, and because this is what is in your Pamoja bid, Hoima and Akki-bua. So divide the 2 money, the 100 billion, then 385 billion, cut it into 2, build the 2 stadium for 2027. Yes.
On the Pamoja bid, there was supposed to be regional balancing. And I think that's why Akki-bua was put in the bid. And if you also study, because that bid was a joint bid for the entire East Africa, if you could see how Tanzania balanced their proposed stadium, it was balanced. And if you also see the bid for Kenya, it was balanced. Now it came to Uganda, it's not balanced at all, Chair. Yet that's one of the requirements of AFCON. Now the people of Lango are even contemplating, there's already a meeting called that will be chaired by the Paramount Chief to write to CAF as a complaint. And this would be something very bad for the country. That's why we are here, the Education Committee and you, the Budget Committee. Please, this Akki-bua issue is becoming too much, and I'm happy, Chair, yourself stated that there have been attempts to construct Akki-bua Stadium, but it's failing. Where is the problem? It means there's a deliberate effort to frustrate the entire North by not constructing this stadium. 2, on the issue of international airport. We also studied there was nothing stated about kilometers, about what, about the distance from the international airport. We even asked FUFA. FUFA was saying it needs 50 kilometers. Council of Sport was saying 100 kilometers. There's nothing that is clear. So as people of Lango and Greater North, let us have national character, and this we are putting before you the budget committee that scrutinize all this ministry's budget to put the construction of Akki-bua into consideration. Thank you.
Participated in the budget committee meeting in which the Committee on Education has been presenting on the budget framework paper for financial year 2024-2025. One of the unfunded priorities has been construction of Akki-bua Stadium, in which they have allocated 100 billion shillings together with Buhinga Stadium. That means that Akki-bua will be given 50 billion and Buhinga Stadium 50 billion if this budget is passed. However, it's unfortunate because the design and feasibility studies for Akki-bua Stadium was very, very clear. It's $48 million, which is 184 billion shillings. Therefore, the 50 billion shillings, whereas we welcome it, it's not sufficient to be able to ensure the full construction of this facility. We need to realize that this is not the first attempt to construct Akki-bua Stadium, where the similar attempt 5 years ago, 5 billion shillings was released, but only 600 million shillings to reach the ground. The rest of it was actually eaten itself. So we want this time the full amount to be provided so that the construction can be completed at once and not in phases. Secondly, the other issue that has been raised has been the issue of Akki-bua hosting AFCON. The committee still maintains that this was just a presidential pledge. Our position is that it was more than a presidential pledge. This was a commitment by government of Uganda to CAF to construct Akki-bua to host AFCON 2027. So therefore we want to see Akki-bua hosting AFCON, and this is as part of regional balance, because we've seen that the stadiums that are being fronted and the training grounds that are being fronted are all within one particular region. We want to see them in different regions. Having Akki-bua in Lira will not only benefit Lango, it's also going to benefit Soroti. Some of the accommodation centers are going to be in Soroti. The Soroti airfield can also be used. It will also going to benefit Gulu in Acholi, because the airport can also be used, the accommodation centers can also be used. So having Akki-bua constructed to host AFCON is going to have a triple effect in Acholi, Lango, and also in Teso subregion. So we want to maintain our position that we want to see Akki-bua constructed to host AFCON. That is our expectation, that the budget committee is going to uphold the official government position and present it on the floor of parliament for it to be appropriated in order that the funds can be availed for 2027 AFCON. Akki-bua is no longer a hot issue in Lango. It's a volcanic issue, and it has a very, very high risk of erupting politically and affecting us, especially the members of parliament and also other elective positions. It's therefore very, very important that government continues to be engaged to understand the severity of this issue, because if it is not done, then it is a breach of trust. When you've breached trust, where you have put it on paper, you've put it on the floor of parliament, you've presented the same bid to CAF itself, then the question will be, how will the people trust the government if they have backtracked on an official position presented on an international forum? So our position is to continue engaging government. We are hoping that by the ministerial policy statement time, we would have been able to gain some ground in terms of discussions and come to a harmonized position on the best way forward for AFCON and the best way forward also for Akki-bua as far as this is concerned.